Hi guys, and welcome to my channel A Little More Than 8-Bit. So, I wanted to start this video by telling you a little bit of what my channel's about. So, this channel, which admittedly isn't my first channel, is a channel based around gaming, tech, film, and possibly some music. So, this channel is going to also have a lot more of reviews and reactions to things coming out and things that are already out in those kind of genres. So I will also cover other things such as gameplay inside those specific things, but I wanted to kind of tone this channel down to be a bit more simple and a bit more helpful. So today's video is kind of an advice video centered around gaming, but I wanted to just start off by saying yes, I am using a laptop to record this video, but I may upgrade equipment if and when it's necessary, and I will cover more about how I will upload at the end of this video. So what I wanted to talk about in this video is a little bit about starting off in MMOs and specifically World of Warcraft. So recently I decided that I was ready to start in MMOs. I'd already tried a bit, but I'd played them on my own instead of ones that my friends were already involved in. So that didn't really help, because I had nobody that I could quest with and nothing like that. So I decided, being as I already know quite a few people that play World of Warcraft, that I would start in that. So looking around I realised obviously there's the free download, which is helpful, it's great, but it's a huge download and it takes a really long time if you've got relatively slow internet like me. So I decided to look at how much I would get for the discs. And so if I pull it over here, what I bought, if I can get it onto camera, is this. It's basically, I think it's the Battle Chest, it's called. It's what they released it a while ago, but it's got the game, the original World of Warcraft, and 3 of the DLCs. Yeah, 3 of the DLCs. So, as you can see, it's a relatively nice box, nice on the back, and this was really quite cheap. I bought this online on Amazon.co.uk for £7.50, which obviously isn't a lot of money, and it's less than the 1 month top up than it comes with for World of Warcraft. So you get 30 days with this, and as I say, 3 DLCs and the original game over 2 discs. It comes with the Burning Crusade DLC, Cataclysm, and Wrath of the Lich King, which at the minute is only 1 behind, and as it doesn't have Mists of Pandaria. So obviously there is the new DLC coming out soon, but that's still going to be relatively expensive because it's the new one, and it's only about 16 quid if you want to add Mists of Pandaria to it, which you can just download or buy the disc separately again. So the box opens out into this really quite nice panorama thing, which has information in it, which I guess you would use if you saw it in store, but basically all the stuff that you need to know is also on the back, so I don't really get the point of that, but overall it's a nice box. Inside, and you might have heard Skype making its little noise there, inside there are 2 discs, so those 2. As you can see, that one's got the same artwork as on the front of the box, and that's got the Lich King on it. So I don't really know which is on which disc, but I'm guessing that the first disc has the original game, and most of the DLCs are situated on this one. So it took me a few hours to install, and I'm using a relatively old MacBook for it, and you will be able to hear the alarm that I'm sorry I can't really do anything about. Inevitably there'll be a really terrible jump cut there, but I went and I closed the windows, so at least it should be drowned out for that alarm. Don't know whose alarm it is going off outside. Also in the box then, there's the quick start guide, which I didn't really find that useful. It tells you a little bit of stuff about how to control it, but for any game it's basically the same, so it's not really that helpful. But if you're new to MMOs entirely, then it could be helpful to you. It's kind of like your game manual kind of thing that you normally get with any sort of game. One of the really useful things though is it also comes with the beginner's guide as a book. So see, going through there, it's got loads of things like advancing your character once you get into it. If I can get that on the screen, there you go. Advancing the character, and stuff about character creation. One of the really helpful bits is if I turn to one of the random pages in here. So if you were to pick a Pandaren, it's got a nice bit of artwork on the side, and then all stuff about their racial abilities and a little bit of background in there. So that's really quite helpful while you're installing the game to decide what kind of character you want to start off with first. So that's basically it on installing the game. You will need a Battle.net account, but that's easy enough to set up, and if you've played games like I had previously, like Hearthstone, you will have an account already, and you can just link that straight to it. The 30 days free that comes with it, you just use the key on the back of one of the discs. On the little sleeve there's a key that you activate. There's a helpful enough tab which leads you to it, so that's simple enough. The box also includes 2 guest passes, which I'm not showing on there because they've got codes, but I don't see that they're much different to using the free service online to download it. I think it's still trywarcraft.com, so yeah, it's not much different to that. So moving on to the game, how to get started in the game is pretty simple. Character creation, all that's just your standard stuff. It does help if you have some people with you. That's one thing that I really will advise. I started off with 2 of my friends that were already in game, already have level 90 characters, and were just there to give me a bit of advice on how to start off. After clearing the starting area, which is relatively simple, all really easy quests, just get you started. After clearing that, you'll be able to go questing with these people, and if you've got a different character race to them, they should be able to quest up with you to do these quests as well. It's just nice. It adds a lot of fun to the game than just having your character on your own. Now, the server that you choose is fundamental to what you want to do. There are lots of different types of servers held in different ways. I joined obviously the one that my friends were already on, so that was Argent Dawn, which is an RP server, which isn't totally RP, but you can join role-playing in the whole thing, which is really cool. It's something that I really wanted to get into with this, is to role-play a character. So the first character that I made was, he's called Hillsfield, and he's a Blood Elf warrior, and obviously as a warrior, it's kind of your standard, it's your starting class, it's easy to use. So I started with that. It's a really, really fun class to play, to be perfectly honest. I have played this game before. I've played it on another PC, so I did kind of know what to play, how to play, some of that kind of thing, but all that's kind of your simple clicking and using number keys, WASD for movement as standard, and a few things like M for map, C to open your character menu, all that kind of stuff, all makes perfect sense. So having the DLCs installed already is a really good place to start, because it means that you get all of those quests that were added and all the storyline that was added straight off the bat. I know they can be bought really cheaply, but this whole package is really, really helpful with the added 30 days. That's your normal full membership, as if you'd bought a top-up. I don't think it says it on the box, but it has that installed. It has that on it. It's just really helpful. So you can get the discs for like 99p, something like that. So they are really cheap. But as I say, it was £7.50. It's £9 a month to get just 30 days. So it made a lot of sense to me to get this and actually get the 30 days cheaper. So that just started off my membership. Obviously you can link credit cards, all that kind of stuff to your account. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to work basically on top-up cards, because I know with me I'm possibly not going to stay on this MMO for ages. So that's just me. It helps that I would then be able to just let my account go dormant, which you can do. You can let it go completely dormant and then just go back to it at a later date whenever you want to top it up. So you don't have to feel pressured into anything being deleted. That was something that really scared me with Final Fantasy XIV Online, because they said they would keep characters for a few months after you've stopped paying, but then they would delete those characters. So I had a couple of characters on that I played quite a bit with, and by the end of it I kind of got bored, but I didn't really want to completely leave it, which I did in the end. I didn't really want to leave it, and I didn't want those characters to be deleted in case I wanted to go back sooner. At the minute, I don't know what's happened to my characters, but with this, at least I know that if I let it go dormant, I can keep my characters. It's all going to be there when I decide to start paying again. So, if you have people to quest with and everything, getting started in game is pretty simple. It's really enjoyable. I'm playing it on an old 2009 MacBook, so it's not a particularly powerful computer. It has been upgraded, but it's only got 4 gigs of RAM, and I think we added a bit more storage to it, but that was about it. It's not very powerful. It's got a relatively old graphics card, but it runs fine. If you want to run things in the background like Skype, which is helpful when you've got friends on, which is another point I should make, voice chat is a lot easier than text chat. Having that voice chat option open is really, really helpful. So, just being able to ask something, because I have a lot of silly questions that I have to ask the friends that I play with, because I'm really new to it, so I had to ask them a lot of stuff about how things work. So that's really helpful. You might, if you're running on something similar to me that's not a very powerful computer, you might want to exit full screen mode, but that's all I needed to do. Just exit full screen mode, have Skype open at the same time. Sure, it's a bit smaller screen, but absolutely no lag whatsoever. It was fine. It will adjust to your computer settings. It will see what's the best, what it feels is the best option for you, which for me isn't very high graphics, but that's fine for me, especially in a smaller window. Resolution's not that high either, but it all works perfectly. So that basically covers it, other than just make sure that you don't make a character just to conform to other things, because you want to make the experience the most enjoyable thing that you can. So make whatever character you want to play. It really won't matter. If you want to RP, which I'm going to be starting doing, make sure you have a backstory for that character. So if you want to say they were in a certain battle, that's fine, but don't go overboard and say that you were the one that slayed the Lich King, because you can't have that on an RP server, because that's just too specific. That is one thing that I learned from talking to one of my friends that was already on this, is you've got to be able to make it believable. So there's that. The other thing is there's a lot of lore to learn about. That's L-O-R-E, not L-A-W. So, L-O-R-E, lore. I got a lot of that from one of the other people I play with. I got a lot of it sent to me via Facebook Messenger, just talking about how a lot of it worked. So, just knowing a lot of what people are talking about is really helpful, because jumping straight in, it can seem a bit daunting at first, because there's a lot of terminology that you won't get. So, just a bit of lore to know about some of the main characters, because, people could talk about Garrosh, and you won't understand who Garrosh is unless you've played something like World of Warcraft before, or Hearthstone. You will not know who he is, but he's a major, major character. So just a bit of lore really helps, and just gets you started. So that's basically it on World of Warcraft. I'm not sure how long this video is going to be. It's probably going to be a bit over 10 minutes. But I'm basically now going to just talk about what this channel is going to be for me. Eventually I want to get into journalism. So this is just a way of me experimenting with how I want to review things. So if I was to review World of Warcraft, this product, I'd probably give it a really good review just because of how well it worked on a really old PC. So that's that. I don't know how often I'll be uploading. I'm really not certain on that. All depends on what you want. So if you want me to review something a bit smaller, like a CD, an album, that's fine. I could do that really quite often. Just have to listen to it through, see if I enjoy it, but I will give you an honest review. I'm not going to sugarcoat these things, because if something is shit, I will call it shit. That's just the bottom line. It doesn't have to be something I already like, or it doesn't have to be something that I already dislike. So if it is something I've already listened to, fine, and I enjoy it, I will give you that honest opinion. If it's something that I've listened to and I despise, and you want me to review it, I will review it, but I will tell you why I don't like it. That's just how it's going to be. As you can see, probably up here, there's a lot of PS3 things. If you can see any of that, there's mostly Assassin's Creed games. Assassin's Creed 4 is downstairs because I've got that on the PS4. I only have my PS3 up here. There's all that to review. I have PS Vita, if you can see it, all the way up there. It's PS Vita up there. A few CDs below it. A lot more CDs. That's you can see a lot of my music taste. It's Katy Perry up there. Green Day there. And that's not confined to things like that. I will go out of stuff like that. There's a Wii downstairs, but obviously there's not a lot being released for Wii anymore, so there's not a lot of reviews I can do for that if it's a new game. PS4. Games are expensive, but I have PlayStation Plus, so things coming out on PlayStation Plus each month I can review. And games that I really want to play, I may pre-order and play and review those after I get them. So that might just be how it works. What else was I going to do? Animes, things like that. I will watch animes, especially if they're on Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is great, by the way. If you want something about how that works, I will make a video on how Crunchyroll works. I do buy DVDs as well. Seasons of TV shows. I will try and watch as much of a TV show before I start it as possible. But if I can find a DVD cheaply, I will watch and review that. So down here at the minute, I've got the whole Friends, the whole set of Friends. Yeah, that was quite expensive, but that was something I'd already watched once already. I would go through things like that. I've got on the shelf over there CSI, 30 Rock, House, a lot of American stuff, but I will watch British stuff as well. That's obvious. You can watch that on the TV. It's not a problem. I will go through all of these kind of things. Technology stuff. Yes, I will do technology things. I will look at specs for things if they're expensive things, or if they're little things, I might buy them, I might review them, all that kind of stuff. That's all fine. Apple, reactions to Apple products. Yes, I will react to that. I try not to be biased. Obviously, I'm using a MacBook at the minute, and I have an iPhone myself, old one that is. But I'm not tied down to Apple. I've had Sony phones before, Sony Ericsson. I've got to say, the X10 Mini that I had a few years ago, that was one of the most fun phones I've ever owned. So there's that. Little pieces of tech, anything like that. I'm probably going to be getting a graphics tablet over the summer, so I can review a graphics tablet, anything like that, graphics programs, all that kind of stuff. Mac programs, stuff that if you can't find a specific application that you want to know how to do things, yeah, I will do that. That's all great. So yeah, basically all of that kind of stuff. Obviously I can listen to music over Spotify, but they've started adding that to the charts now, so if it's really shit, I might just avoid listening to it on there. Might try and find stuff on YouTube. That's not a problem though. So basically that's all I need to say. As I say, I don't know how often I'll upload. I don't know if it'll be a strict this day, this time. I don't know. This is going to be hopefully going up. Today is Friday. Hopefully will be uploaded later. But somewhere in this, I think we had a power cut, and that might have explained the alarm earlier. And my internet has gone completely down. So I'm recording this at the minute with no internet, which means no World of Warcraft for me after this, which kind of sucks. So yeah, I'll go through any of that. I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you wanted to get started in World of Warcraft and there's something I haven't mentioned, just drop a comment, that's fine. I will probably do another video today as well, just a little bit more about me, myself. And that'll be it. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you around, hopefully. Like and subscribe, it's really helpful. I really want to get this channel going. My last channel, pretty much a failure, didn't enjoy it. So, anyway, see you guys. Thanks for watching.